let's welcome Jessica, Alba, and Lizzy Mathis to our couch, to our studio. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. So this is really exciting. Jessica, let's start with you. I watched some of the episodes, and you know there are a lot of home renovation shows out there, but this one is geared towards parents, which is such a challenging and vulnerable time in a new parent's life. But you guys really go to town on kind of creating like a dream home situation for a lot of parents. So tell us about what like inspired you to want to take, you know, your honest company into this home renovation realm.
Well, I was inspired by the company that I created for sure, and I actually wrote a book called The Honest Life, and in it there's tons of tips and tricks that I incorporated in there, you know, definitely making a space beautiful and making your home your sanctuary, hiding storage, for example, and staying organized, but also using healthier materials, you know, because that can impact your day-to-day so much and the quality of life. But between the two of us, we have 3 kids each, so there's 6 kids, and you guys also have 6 kids. And so you just learn so much through trial and error, right?
It's amazing how kids take over houses, isn't it?
My
Right? I mean,
gosh.
suddenly all their stuff is not just here, and like the
it's
playroom,
everywhere.
it's everywhere.
And then you're like, why do I feel on edge when I come into this door?
And you don't see it coming. It literally just happens, and one day you wake up and you're like, oh, how is this possible?
Who am I? Who am I?
Who am I anymore?
Where am I?
Yeah. And Lizzy, I really like how this show, it's different because you guys really get to the human side of knowing the families and tailoring it to their needs. In the first episode, you know, you really talk about like self-care and what does this mom need? She needs her own office, and the baby needs its own nursery. They need to be separate spaces, and she needs an ensuite bathroom. But let's talk about that bathroom, because it was a broom closet, and then you turned it into a spa.
It was amazing. You know, I think one of the biggest things for us is that whenever you think of parents, you always think of them with kids, and what about the kids? And for us, it was
Putting
really
the kids
important.
first every time.
Every time. And for us, it was really important to also focus on the parents and make it a little bit of a surprise for them. They didn't expect it. So she didn't expect to have this bathtub and this luxurious kind of bathroom as her, you know, space. And that also the episode you're talking about, she also got a beautiful walk-in closet. You know, so she got all these little moments.
Because her clothes were in 3 different spaces in the house.
That's right.
And every room was everything. It was like every space was her office, was the baby's room, you know, was the chill room. And we were like, we have to separate these spaces, because then it just frees you up mentally if you know that there's dedicated intentional spaces for each thing.
And
that's a tip that you don't know, you don't know until you've been there,
and
done
you
that.
know, as a mom of 3 and as a dad of 3 really too, that like, you know, finding time for yourself is the hardest thing to find. And so we really wanted to create self-care moments for each one of our families and each one of our parents in these episodes.
So we came up with a shot of you guys, you know, holding nail guns. How much of the work, if people haven't seen the shows, how much are you actually doing of these sort of renovations?
I mean, we have real qualified, insured contractors
and make sure that
really
we're doing
know how to
everything
do
correctly.
things. But we, you know, usually it's when we have an idea and they're like, I don't really know, I don't get it kind of thing, or how did you want this to, like, how is this supposed to come together?
We step in there and show them.
Then we step in there and show them, and then they're like, and then sometimes they mess with us and they're like, you know, you wanted to knock down this wall and put up another, you know, make it a doorway. You know, there needs to be a support beam. Why don't you come help?
You know, but I think that was part of it, though. Like, we have a learning curve in this show, too. And that was intentional to show, because we wanted everyone to see, the audience to see
the design process.
The design process, but also you can do this. This isn't something that, like, you know, your normal home renovation show where it's just like before and after, or you think it just like gets done. We wanted to show that these are takeaway tips that you can actually do at home, and you don't have to be so, I don't know, have so much money or be a professional or, you know, you can take the first step.
Totally, and I love that you kept a lot of, you know, the family's furniture, existing furniture, but it looks so different in these new spaces. And you know, the wallpaper incident, you guys are saying, hey, maybe wallpaper can break friendships.
It can.
But there was one part where you dropped the word subflooring, and Jessica was like, oh, look at you, fancy. Like, you're like, I'm an interior designer now. And she corrected you. She's like, no, you're a contractor.
It's true. I think, but that's part of our relationship too. Like, we keep it real on this show, and I think that our dynamic is always, you know, very fun, and we're like sisters, and so we definitely tell each other how it is.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of times in these shows, the humanity doesn't always come through.
Yeah.
But for me, we wanted to flip it, and we really wanted it to be honest, and and we wanted you to see the humanity behind all of our decisions, and then just our dynamic.
Yeah, there's an authenticity there for sure. And what I find interesting about this is right now we're in the middle of the Hollywood writer's strike, so you've got an unscripted show, which is new content.
This is unstruck work.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's
So
right.
it's really interesting to sort of see that distinction. And is there going to be more? I mean, I think that's the big question. I mean, can you do more?
Yeah, we've announced season 2.
Yeah.
So we will be back for a second season, which we're very
Amazing.
excited about. You know, it's going to be more of this, more fun, more design, more takeaways.
Yeah, and we'll learn, you know, we've learned along the way, like, how to be more efficient,
That's right.
how to do it a little bit better. So season 2 will be a little bit tighter.
Right.
And I must ask, I mean, both of you, you know, have been in TV shows and movies. Jessica, I mean, I grew up and I was watching you grow up while you were acting on Flipper.
Oh my
gosh, Flipper,
really?
and your mom is a lifeguard and she taught you how to like swim and do all those tricks. I mean, you were part of my childhood. I mean, I watched Honey and Sin City. So much of that. So I'm sure a lot of people are watching both you ladies, beautiful, smart women. Like, is acting still in the card for you down the road?
Oh yeah, I mean, of course. For me, at least, I have a lot of things that I can't talk about because of what's going on with the strike.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as a producer, I think, you know, really opening up my world to being an entrepreneur has giving me just sort of a different lens in how I would want to tackle entertainment and not just sort of be, you know, in the position where I'm a person for hire, but also help shape the worlds and give also other people opportunities.
Yeah.
So being a producer has been, for me, a really exciting new chapter in entertainment, along, you know, also being on camera.
Yeah.
I think that's the exciting part about this show too, is that we're both executive producers and co-creators of the show. And so we were really able to put our stamp on it from start to finish.
Yeah.
And so everything that you see, we are doing and we've had a say in, and it was very intentional.
All the edits,
All the edits.
you know, the
it's really
story and how we want to, you know, really.
You
take
definitely
shape.
feel like you're in control, given what TJ says
Exactly.
about how you guys. He's like, no, you guys are the bosses.
That's
okay.
right. So the next chapter is more of that, though. You know, the next chapter is also being able to executive produce and create projects and entertainment and, you know, things that you see that are worth it and that really mean something to
And
us.
also representative of our cultures and our communities.
That's right.
You know, I think we know how important it is to be seen and heard, and for other kids to see, you know, different types of people can be in positions of power, and you know, they can look like us.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And
Absolutely.
that's cool, you know.
That's good. Well, listen, it was great to meet both of you this morning. Thanks so much for coming in and talking more about Honest Renovations. Lizzy, Jessica, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Premieres
for having us.
August 18th on Roku. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Take care. Thank you so much.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
More
Let me get
news
to our
straight
headlines
ahead.
right now. Thank you very much.
All right.
Good to meet you. Yeah.